Simpsons.
KNWT is a proud sponsor.
That is
of
literally
Trader Joe's.
not true. Welcome back to your one-stop shop for all things nerd, Nerd Central. I'm your host, Tyrell Childress, and I got a haircut, so people can stop making comments about it. You're welcome, mother. I mean, I told her that, like, I was doing busy stuff, and I had things going on, and everything was happening, and... All right, then. Let's start with Star Wars. Voice actor James Earl Jones, made famous for his role as the voice of the legendary Sith Lord Darth Vader, has announced that he's retiring from the role. Jones feels that it'd be best to take a step away from the role, considering he is currently 91 years old and has been voicing the character since 1977. But then, who will fill the void of this iconic voice? Don't worry, folks, Disney has a solution. They have decided to continue the legacy using AI and archival recordings, meaning that Darth Vader's voice will continue to live on through a robot. On a more positive note, Netflix has finished rounding out the cast for the new Avatar: The Last Airbender series based on the popular Nickelodeon series of the same name. And fans are loving it, and it doesn't even have a release date yet. Most of the cast, especially the lead roles, are complete newcomers. And although this may remind us of previous eras, it's clear that Netflix has taken the time to choose actors that embody the characters they will be playing, rather than the other way around. Avatar fans have been very cautious with how they treat new installments of the franchise. After M. Night Shyamalan made one of the worst movies of the decade, it makes complete sense. So to see such high support for a new live-action take on the show looks promising. Lastly, let's give a little shout out to Gen 2, as HBO has just released the trailer for The Last of Us, a show based off the video game of the same name. The story focuses on 52-year-old Joel and 14-year-old Ellie as they traverse through a fungi-infested zombie apocalypse. Without giving too much away, the trailer seems to capture the horror and emotion that the game was praised for when it won Game of the Year in 2013. The trailer shows amazing visuals and audio designs, as well as some fan-favorite characters. And we can't forget about the zombies themselves. They look terrifying. The release date is set for 2023. That's the news for you. But coming up, we have Fortune Teller Tech Films of Euler. Have a look.
Hello guys, this is Euler and welcome to another Fortune Teller Tech Films and TV shows here at Nerd Central. From predicting Donald Trump being president to humankind reaching Mars, we already know that the Simpsons have the power to somewhat predict the future. And that's why today we're going to be talking about 3 different events that the Simpsons showed in their episodes, which ended up actually happening in the future. And first we have Neymar getting hurt and Germany winning the 2014 World Cup. In the 25th season, which aired in 2013, Homer became a soccer referee in Brazil. The episode shows Brazil and Germany as the 2 finalists for the World Cup. During the game, a Brazilian soccer player trips, falls on the ground, and ends up having to leave the game in a stretcher. Coincidentally, a year later, a Brazilian soccer player during the World Cup got injured and had to leave the game almost exactly as the Simpsons episode. He suffered a fracture in one of his spine vertebrae and unfortunately couldn't make it to the other matches. In the same episode, who wins the World Cup was Germany, which also happened in 2014. And then third, we have Russia and Ukraine. One of the most recent predictions we have from The Simpsons is the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. In 1998, more than 20 years ago, The Simpsons aired an episode that showed how tense the situation would be in Eastern Europe. In this episode, Homer is inside a submarine as a military soldier. And not having the greatest intellect as always, he ends up unintentionally ejecting the captain in Russian waters, which turns into an even major conflict. Russia then reveals that the Soviet Union never actually ended and puts tanks and soldiers on the streets. Since this is more of a serious situation, the producer of the show published on his social media accounts the following. Very sad to say that this was not hard to predict. In an interview, he also said that there is the kind of prediction where we reference something that has happened happening again. We hope it wouldn't, but sadly, it does. This also explains a little bit why they get so many things right, not to mention that they already had time to cover almost anything during these 34 seasons. That is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching another episode, and I'll see you guys next week.
Welcome to the mid-break interview, the part where I interview somebody until I feel like it needs to stop. I have Starbucks barista and host of Fortune Teller Tech Films, Euler. Come on out, Euler.
What's up? My name's Euler. I'm Euler. That's me. You see me on the Starbucks on campus.
Euler, you're looking a lot less Euler today.
I've been hitting the gym. That's me. I'm Euler.
Yeah, it's pretty understandable. You ready to answer these questions?
As Euler's famous catchphrase goes, which is my catchphrase, heck yeah, brother, I'm ready.
All right then. Number 1, how are you today?
Fantastic. Never been better.
Number 2, what's your favorite choice to drink?
Water.
Spell that.
LSTER.
All right, and final question, who's your favorite member of Nerd Central?
Jonas. Jonas is, because I'm not Jonas. I'm Euler, and my favorite person is Jonas.
All right, you heard it here first, y'all. Euler's favorite member of Nerd Central is Jonas. And speaking of Jonas, stay tuned, because up next we have So You Want to Be a DM with Jonas.
I've heard he's a cool guy.
Have you?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Let's see.
Check him out.
Unlike other organizations on and around campus, here, the students do it all.
KNWT is a student-run and student-produced television station.
To support this content and Northwest Media students,
you can go to our YouTube channel at KNWT Channel 8
and watch the latest shows or even enjoy blasts from the past.
Out of 7 billion people, each one of them has a different story.
We share our stories with family and friends.
We tell our stories through laughter and tears.
We create our stories with talents and strengths.
We survive our stories of hardships and grief.
And throughout everything we live through,
we are staying for the stories.
Welcome back to So You Want to Be a DM. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Jonas Pelot, and today we're going to be diving back into the Dungeon Master's Handbook to finish up this 3-part series and finally finish out this massive book. This has been a long, arduous journey getting through this book, but it has been chock full of great information for any starting DMs. So, the first chapter we're going to cover today is Chapter 6, Between the Adventures. Now, it's not always constant action. There's going to be some downtime, and you might have some quote-unquote beach episodes. This gives you the perfect time to set up some notes for the next session and get an idea of where you want to go next with this campaign, but it just gives you a little bit of downtime to take a break and relax, because being a DM is hard and it's a lot of work. Now, maybe there's a tournament in town or something that your players can go enroll in or have fun with, because your players are still going to want some of that action, but this will give you something easy to plan and throw together for your players just to enjoy for a small amount of time. Maybe this tournament has a grand prize at the end, or maybe one of them gets knighted by the king. This tournament is just that little bit of action your players are going to want to satisfy them while you set up the bigger overarching story. Now, Chapter 7 covers what's most likely going to be your players' favorite chapters, and that is magic items. This chapter is almost purely tables. As you can see here, there is a lot of tables. All the way up to table I of just magic items. This doesn't even cover the treasure hoards or other things. There are tons of magic items for your players to find and enjoy. Now, in the next chapter is Chapter 8. This really breaks down the mechanics of the game for you as the DM. This chapter is purely for you as the DM. This finally doesn't cover anything that's going to go with your players. This is all about you. This covers ways that you can roll your dice, ways that you can run encounters, ways that you can run ability scores. All of these mechanics that are broken down to you it is so helpful. I cannot even describe how good this chapter is for you as a DM. There are not just ability scores and dice roll changes, but there's also different mechanics you can add to your game, like sanity and ways to lose that sanity and have your players go mad. These are all optional things, but these can really spice up your game or just change up the playstyle for your players depending on what kind of campaign you want to run. Now, the last and final chapter is, again, about you as the Dungeon Master. This one is called the Dungeon Master's Workshop. This adds in not just new ways to run the game, but ways to start building your own stuff, like magic items, magic spells, monsters, all of these so you can build yourself. Even if there are hundreds of tables out there that people have created, you can make your own if you're not satisfied with the multitude of spells and monsters and magic items out there. If you have something that you specifically have in mind that you want, this chapter right here tells you how to bring that to life. It is also an incredibly useful chapter. And so with that, next week, we're gonna start getting into campaign books. These are, if you don't make your own campaign, these are awesome books created by Wizards of the Coast that have a preset campaign for you as a DM to just run for your players. They're wonderful for getting started as a DM. I highly recommend this one as well, which I will dive into next week. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Jonas Pelot.
Welcome to the Mid-Break Game, the part where we play a game until it stops being about the game. I have Australian accent enthusiast and host of So You Want to Be a DM, Jonas here.
Hello, mate. I'm Australian.
All right, Jonas, so glad that you're able to make it here today.
I'm always able to make it.
All right, so we're gonna play a game here. We're just gonna keep saying words back and forth until it becomes a story.
I'm so good at this.
All right, you ready?
I'm so ready.
You start us off.
Okay. You
Would
not
believe
your
eyes
if
10
million
fireflies.
lit.
Wow, that was very, very original of us.
That was just brought a tear to my eye.
Really? Shed one right now. All right, I think the game's about over now, but after the break, we'll be continuing with the Cartoon Network Boot Camp. Oh, buddy, does it actually make you sad?
On Channel 8 News, we'll be looking at the impact of Hurricane Ian, Ukraine's military progress in the east, and more.
For stories that matter to you, catch new episodes of Channel 8 News every Monday at 2 p.m. on our YouTube page at KNWT TV.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Cartoon Network Boot Camp. Last time, Lili beat Euler in the Adventure Time Challenge. It wasn't really a close match, but boy was it a blast. And now, we're gonna see what's next. Let's hop into the kitchen because this week's theme is my favorite cartoon, Chowder. Following the apprentice Chowder and his cooking mentor, Monk Doll, each episode sees them and the other characters get into wacky, fourth wall breaking hijinks that leave the audience in tears. Which is me. I'm the audience. But through it all, the focus is always on the delicious food. This food is the inspiration for this week's quiz, as I will read a description of a food and our contestants will choose from 4 options to see which one is the correct choice, and the food corresponds to the name of a character from the beloved cartoon. Are you two ready, folks?
Oh yeah.
Sure am. All right, let's play the game. What's in the pantry? Our first question is question 1. Hailing from Spain, this cold soup is a refreshing summertime meal, often being paired with a side of bread to dip it into. Is it A, tomato soup, B, gazpacho, C, stroganoff, or D, krupnik? Answers on the board.
I mean, you can eat anything cold.
But this is specifically a cold soup.
That's true.
Yes. All right, ready to answer? What do you guys got? D&D, krupnik? And the answer is?
Talking about Dungeons and Dragons?
I guess, yeah. B,
gazpacho.
Yes.
I thought that was Italian for something.
No, Spain.
It's
yeah. And there's gazpacho right there. What a sweetheart. Got to the next question. An Italian sandwich, it is defined by how it is toasted in a press to create a hot, melting meal. Is it A, cubano, B, chicken parm, C, panini, or D, hoagie?
I think we both are pretty clear on what we think it is. Hopefully
C
it's
and
still
C.
there.
Let's see. All right. Correct. Panini. Hey, Panini.
Twins.
Why are you such a meanie? That's my favorite. It's not my favorite Lil Nas, but it's up there.
You don't like Lil Nas
I love
X?
Lil Nas.
You better
just
like
not,
Lil Nas
It's
X.
just not my favorite one of his works.
Oh yeah, then what's your favorite?
Probably Montanero.
Is
that not what it's called?
It's Montero.
Montero. Listen, all right.
That is.
I like the part where
He goes down.
Too bad. Question 3. A German meal consisting of fried, thinly sliced meat. It can be served with a gravy or with none. It makes for an excellent pairing with egg noodles. Is it A, schnitzel, B, strudel, C, streusel, or D, Wurstbrot?
You said that differently than I thought it was in my head.
Strudel und streusel?
Yeah.
And the answer is, oh yeah, can we please get your boards? A and C. And the answer is A, schnitzel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dang.
No,
Schnitzel.
streusel is a German dessert made with sugary breadcrumbs and a pie crust. It looks great. I haven't had it yet.
I wish.
I'm hungry now.
Dude, I'm so hungry, bro.
Too bad. Eat your own tongue. Question
Tell
4.
me to-
An Indian dish, it consists of yellow Indian lentils put into a soup with different spices, such as turmeric or cayenne. Is it A, tikka masala, B, buriyan, C, mung dal, or D, samosa?
Indian dish.
It is. What do you got?
Well, using yellow Indian lentils.
Do you speak Hindu?
Yeah, I speak.
Of course.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3,
I'm pretty sure
2,
it's this.
1. Put your answer to the board. C and C. And the answer is C, mung dal.
Nice.
There he is. My favorite boy. Look at
Tikka
him.
masala is delicious.
It is. I
though.
love tikka masala.
Changes your life.
I want some right
Yeah,
now.
tikka masala before?
I have not.
You haven't had tikka masala?
Lili, I'm
No.
gonna put you on that, girl.
That's a shame.
On the to-do list.
We gotta get you hooked.
All right.
All right. Next question. Question 5. A leafy green with a bitter taste, this Indian growing vegetable is made into a variety of salads. Is it A, Napa cabbage, B, kale, C, ceviche, or D, endive?
Have you tried the Trader Joe's ceviche?
No.
No, I
but
haven't.
should.
Have you?
People at home who watch TikTok will know what that means.
No
All
one
right,
does.
well,
Too bad. You're the only person on TikTok. Fun fact.
No, I've
honestly,
checked.
I've checked the
Damn,
statistics.
I should have known.
Mr. TikTok
oddly
himself showed
specific.
me, hey, only Lili's on this. Can we get a shout out? And like, no,
TikTok.
don't watch TikTok, kids. It ruins your brain.
Yeah, it does.
All right, answer the board.
Mm-hmm.
What are they? We have C and B, and the answer is
Don't tell me it's kale.
it's D, endive.
Well, you know what? That's better
I was
than
thinking
what
about a Maud
Question 6. In Italian blue cheese, it comes from goat milk and described as soft and crumbly. Is it A, gorgonzola, B, blue cheese, C, parmesan, or D, Stilton?
soft and crumbly.
Yes.
Can't all cheese be soft and crumbly?
No, there are actually a lot of different categories of cheese. There's hard cheese, soft cheese, I think crumbly cheese, there's a lot. I
What
think there's hard,
qualifies
soft
cheese
cheeses.
as blue
Future
cheese?
me, put all the cheeses on the board.
Why on earth would you do that to yourself?
Because I don't like me.
Okay, that's understandable. We
All
can
right, get
dis-
your answer on the board,
what
kid.
qualifies something as blue cheese?
That's a lot of stuff. I think it's based on the mold that is introduced to the cheese.
Cheese kind of scares me. I love it.
It's great. Yeah, it's pretty much just, a lot of it is just, let's put mold on this.
Who like tried it first and was like, this is it.
People
Probably
who
in
like
the
mold,
Middle East.
obviously.
All right.
All right.
I'd
Answers
down
to the board,
some
folks?
mold
What
right
do we got?
now.
We got C and C, Parmesan, and the answer is A,
Freaking
gorgonzola.
gorgonzola, bro.
Yeah.
Went to Olive Garden for nothing.
So they all just have mold in them? That's why they're all like crumbly?
A lot of cheeses, yeah. Well, I don't think it might be the crumbly, but like the rich blue, that's mold.
But it's so yummy.
Yeah, it's a good kind of mold. Next question. Question 7. A seafood dish from Peru made with fresh raw fish. It is cured in citrus juices and often enjoyed during lunchtime. Is it A, sushi, B, ceviche, C, anticucho, or D, kai? Guys ready?
Wrote
Yep.
my answer.
Answer the board.
Ready.
B and D. And the answer is?
It is not ceviche.
It is.
It 100% was ceviche.
Yeah, it's ceviche. Question 8. Less of a food and more of a phrase. Todd is the failed dish created by Endive, and its creation is based on a confectionery pun. Is he A, a stud muffin, B, a hot slice of rear, C, a beefcake, or D, hot sauce?
So, like, Todd made the dish?
No, Endive tried to make Todd, but failed.
So he tried to make Todd.
Yes.
But he failed.
Endive did.
Endive failed Todd.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who's Todd?
Todd is the failed creation. He's not exactly a dish, but he's a pun who's made into a dish on the show.
So who's Endive?
Endive was a previous character. That was the bitter
So
leaf.
you were talking about Todd, now you're talking about Endive?
I think you are just confused, Tyrell.
I don't think this
now.
is.
I knew what was
this
happening.
is literally.
Just write something down.
This is literally not a real
Just-
show.
I think the answer is D.
Yeah, what's your answer, Tyrell? A, stud muffin and hot sauce. And the answer is C.
Let's
He's a
freaking
beef.
go!
At the end of the episode, he tries to get baked in a wedding ceremony, but it ends up just failing on Endive as he says, "If you didn't love me before, you'll never love me now," as he finally gets baked to that hot beefcake that he is.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's really passionate and loving.
Yes.
And a really deep story that I will remember probably for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah. Well, folks, with a 3-3 score, sounds like we have a tie in our hands. So, I have the perfect tiebreaker. I know you guys don't remember this, so we're gonna have you spell gorgonzola, starting now. I know you're both gonna get this wrong, so whoever gets closest gets the point. Tyrell with the stylish marker drop.
You already know, because I know how to spell gorgonzola since the Zoe.
I
Since
never
the
won
Zoe?
the spelling bees growing up, and it's not gonna start now.
Bars.
Yeah, I know that. You don't seem like the kind of person who knows how to do spelling bees.
No, I do not.
Wow, that's a pretty...
Might say I'm allergic to those bees.
Yes, of course. All right, ready with your answers? What do we got? That is upside down. All right, we have gorgonzola with Tyrell, and we got gorgonzolua with you. So,
It's silent.
with adding a letter, I'm sorry,
you definitely
but
sounded that out.
that is much more incorrect than Tyrell, who is
very
just
true.
one letter off, and it's a E, not a second O.
Oh, I already knew that. I was trying to give her a better chance.
Oh, yes,
Dang.
of course.
So generous.
You're too powerful, Tyrell.
See, you know me. You know me.
Well, congratulations, Tyrell. You finally have a point on the board. How do you feel?
I mean, I'm just really hungry.
Me too. Looking at all this food, I'm just like, I need to devour something right now.
Yes.
I think we should all order a pizza.
We should order a pizza. We should get that blue cheese on there too, that gorgonzola.
Yeah, no,
Sounds-
not even the gorgonzola. I just want the blue stuff.
You just want the mold. Well, folks, that's all the time we have left for this episode of Nerd Central. If you liked what you saw, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss another episode. And until next time, folks, stay noble.
Yeah, there's a lot more you could be.
You gotta do more
expanding with
dishes.
yourself. And
I guess,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
one
therefore
more.
you're taking more water from the planet, and then therefore the planet's dying, and it's your fault.
Good. I want the planet to starve and die for my pickle consumption. You know, I would just take out my katana and just whoosh, and then like, you know, they're still standing there, but they're like, and then I twink, and then